or tokenomics, we'll be speaking to Mercy Wateta, who is the editor of the African PA magazine. And I'll just walk straight to our interview segment. Thank you, Mercy, for your time. You're welcome to Inside Business.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Let's just begin by understanding who Mercy is and what she does.
Okay, well, Mercy is the editor for the African PA magazine. And the African PA magazine is a digital and an online version of the magazine, meaning that anyone can access it. It's free of charge, and it's a quarterly publication. So this you can access by going to www.africanpa.com, whereby you can see our digital version as well as the online version.
Now, talk to us about what content precedes. What are we looking at as far as the PA magazine is concerned? What usually is your focus?
Our focus are the executives and administrative professionals, because these are the people we saw from our trainings that we do. We have the mother company, Access Business Management, who have done so many trainings and seminars and conferences for the PAs, and we felt that there was a need to recognize these people because they're not really recognized as such, and therefore we came up with the magazine. So the magazine is specifically for them, and it addresses issues arising towards them. Yes.
Now I'm talking about the strength of a woman and empowering a woman. From your interaction with this strong women, and I'm talking about the single ladies, the mothers, basically the women in society that are in the profession of personal assistance. This is a profession that has possibly not had so much clamor about because very few of us understand what cuts. Tell us about this profession. Why is it so important to empower these women?
Like, you know what they say, when you educate a woman, you educate a generation, as opposed to when you educate a man and he keeps the education to himself. So we feel we should extend this, just like our Honorable First Lady and her campaign. So we want to also do something of the sort. Therefore, we as the African PA, we've come up with the awards called the PA Awards, whereby then we'll be able to recognize these individuals and be able to recommend them for their efforts and their contribution. Because we feel so many other times that the PAs are not really recognized, like you mentioned, and most of this 80% are female. So you think maybe these are just the people that take minutes in a meeting, or the people who just schedule the diary for the CEO. But you'll find out that they usually make at least 80% of the decisions within the company. They're the people that the CEO goes to. As opposed to a secretary, the PA will know the ins and outs of what is happening. They'll help out with the finances. They'll help out with so many other things. And thus, we wanted to give them a platform so that they are heard and they're able to do much more as a PA.
Now, for your interaction with personal assistants, we also have men that are personal assistants.
True.
And do you get much focus on them also, or do you really just focus on women?
Actually, we do. We focus on all the PAs, because then the PA as general, they're usually the ones who are not recognized as such. It does not mean that we just focus on the female. The only reason maybe I'd say we focus on the females is because they make up for the most percentage. But we also do have male PAs. Like in a previous issue, we had a PA from South Africa. His name is Tolo Motang. He's a PA within the Vice Chancellor's office. So we also give an opportunity to some person like him to be able to come up and say what it is he feels he does as a PA, what he feels are the challenges. So we look at it from both ways, the male and the female. We do not just specifically go to the female. Yes.
Now, give us the content of what you look at when, assuming I'm a PA and you're talking to me wanting to understand my career, what are the questions that you ask these personal assistants, and how do those responses inform who is a better PA to the other?
Okay, what I can say is the questions we usually, they tell us, because we have a magazine, the one I mentioned that we send out quarterly. So they write back to us. They tell us that these are the challenges that they face from day to day. They're the people who feel like they're the most overworked. They feel that they're there from morning to evening, even after the CEO has left. They feel that they would want a voice, a platform whereby they can raise their concerns. And thus, whatever it is that they tell to us, then we're able to put that out and send it out in our magazine as well, so that anyone who reads that, the CEO, the PA, they feel that someone somewhere recognizes their efforts and contributions. So we usually tell them, we open up our, if it's social media, we let them tell us what it is that they feel they want to be voiced out. So we get their contributions in that way.
Now, you mentioned the issue about the awards, your award personal assistants across Africa. How do you get in touch with them, and how do you categorize those awards?
Recently, I will just begin with what we did. This was just Friday, the May 27th. We did the very first PA Awards to recognize the most exemplary PA within East Africa. So what we did is we opened up the content. We told anyone who knows a PA, or if you're a PA by yourself, to send in nominations. To tell us that you might want to be recognized for this. So once they sent in their nominations, which were actually quite a lot, seeing as this was the very first time we did this, we categorized them according to what it is that they've done as a PA. Because we found out that so many of these people are learned. They have master's degrees, they have their lecturers, they do so much more. And thus we were looking for the top, we chose top 5 for the ones we felt had done so much more as just opposed to being a PA. The people we felt have also contributed in other ways other than just being the boss's PA. So from all the nominees we had, we chose the top 5, whereby we had the winner, imagine, Christine Wanjiro from Responsibility. So we are encouraging more people to do the same, and that's the reason why we want to do another one in West Africa this year in September. Yeah.
What about the one in West Africa? Are you just going to look at companies that are within West Africa? And I'm talking about indigenous companies. Are you looking at multinationals that also operate in that market?
We are opening this up for everyone. The same way we did it in Kenya, in East Africa rather, we're doing it in West Africa the same. We're opening it to Ghana, Togo, Nigeria, for any company, any PA. We're not choosing the PAs that we want to come in and send their nominations. So any PA is open to sending their nominations, or anyone who knows a PA can send in their nominations. From what we gather and what we go through, that is where we're going to choose who we feel should go for the finalist position. Then from there, we'll have the judges who will actually choose the person who they feel is the best PA, which is the same thing we did for the East Africa PA Awards. We had the judges, but we also opened it up to the audience. Because, you know, you want to feel like you're also participating. So if you were one of the attendees for the event, we gave you a card with the finalists. All you had to do was just tick who you felt was the best. Because then you come on the platform, you give out a presentation, and we hear what it is that you have to say. If we feel that you touched us, then we choose you. Then from the judges, they'll choose from what the audience also said, because it's also made up of other PAs and guests as well.
How do you get to engage people across the continent? And now that you're talking about West Africa in September or August, thereabout, how do you engage individuals or companies that are operating within West Africa prior to that event?
I actually forgot to mention that in the previous question, but we have social media. We have the social media. We also have subscribers to our magazine. So for anyone who comes who goes to our website and is able to see, there's a subscriber icon. So you subscribe and you get newsletters every 2 weeks. We give out information in regards to anything that's happening now, for instance, the West Africa PA Awards. So we'll do this over social media. We'll do this over the magazine as well, which we distribute within Africa as well. So they get to learn about that there, and then they send the information to us. If anyone shows interest in whichever category it is, then we are able to contact them and let them know what it is that is required of them. So basically, social media, as well as our magazine, is one of the very many tools that we use for sending this information out.
Well, I think my last question to you will be, why do you think it's very important to recognize these women? And I just want to say that because most of them are women, and rightfully so. Why is it so important to recognize them in an event of this nature? how does that help grow our economies as African countries, for example?
To answer that, I would say, just like I mentioned the very first time of our First Lady, we feel that the women, they would want to educate more, they want to do much more. So we feel that if we get this platform and we're able to get this particular women that we feel have a voice and give them this stage to come and say what it is that they feel they can do for this country, then we feel it will be a great benefit for all, just not for this generation, but for other generations to come. So we feel there's a greater need for us to give them that voice, to give them that platform, for them to come and share what it is that they feel should be shared with other people.
Well, thank you very much, Mercy. We appreciate you for your time, and we wish you the very best. Now, speaking to Mercy, who is the editor of the African Peer magazine, which seeks to recognize the profession of personal assistants across the continent. Now, most of them are women, and which is why we're talking about the strength of a woman and the importance of empowering generations through women.